My daughter did this part, so I had to get that. I used a seam ripper, but in any case, here's the satisfying part of it. My version of ASMR. Promise you next time I'm gonna get music for the background because I did a live yesterday and I said I would finish this later on today, so that's all I'm doing here. But it's just a fabric sandwich. You do fabric on both sides and then you use quilt batting in between. Get your pinking shears. You can you can get the lettering from Microsoft Word, so don't go out and buy something. You can totally just print this off of Microsoft Word and use it. The size is basically whatever you want it to be, so adjust as needed. And then create a lovely little banner that's reusable, machine washable, and a great way to use your fabric scraps. So win-win all around. I don't know if I would consider this a child-friendly project just because, well, for sewing, yes, it totally is. But for cutting, you might want to be a little careful because of the corners. And I find that using pinking shears also requires a little more care than a regular pair of scissors because of the way the jagged edges are. So I would say if you have an adult that can do the cutting, yeah, the kid can do the sewing. The good thing about the sewing is it's forgiven because of the pinking shears, which basically gives it the right shape. So you don't need to worry too much about that. But if you plan on having a younger kid who's learning to sew, do this, I would say be available to help them. Don't toss these. You can use them as stuffing for another project if you're making a teddy bear or something. So my daughter wanted a foodie related lettering. So this is going to go up in her room. We are done with all the letters. So the next thing would be to line them up. And once they're lined up, this is a tool you'll need. It's a hole puncher. This one I purchased on Amazon. It's linked in my Amazon storefront, and you can use it for punching the holes. What I do recommend you do is that you line it up so that when you line up all your letters, so that when you punch the holes, it's in approximately the same place. Again, perfection is not needed here because a pink and shears kind of does the shape out for you. It's really easy. If you want it puffier or puffier, you can also double the batting you use in there. So that's another positive that you can do. This is a great way to use fabric scraps. So as you can see here, I made some yesterday and I do plan to save these to use in a later project, either for a stuffed animal or something. Another great thing you can do when you're doing, when you have projects like this, is you can also use pillow stuffing, like old pillows you have around the house. I would, the only time I would advise you use old pillow stuffing is if it's something that's not necessarily hygienic. It doesn't go around your face. It's more for decoration, so you can use old pillow stuffing, and it will fit just right there, and it will be okay. If it's something hygienic, obviously you don't want to use that because over time, pillow stuffing gets all the bacteria and different things around your face and all that, and you definitely don't want that for something you're going to be putting on your skin. But for a project like this, it's another way to use your old pillow stuffing. So there's a really helpful tip for those who are just starting out. So let me get all the letters together, and then I will show you how I line this up to put the holes and the ribbons, and I'll show you one that I already did. So you're just going to be coming here to my cutting board, and this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to adjust this a little bit so you can see. So these are the additional letters. She wanted it all to be food or whatever theme, but this is what I'm talking about as far as when you do the lettering. So basically, you want to align it. So this is obviously mine for with my name, and it's a smaller lettering. So get a something that you can use. In this case I used my lettering. I wanted to align it all at the bottom, and then I used my hole punch to determine where I wanted it, and also depending on the height of the letters. So obviously O is slightly lower than these, so that's how you do this. So for this one, I'm just going to line it up. Let's see if I can adjust it a little more. I'm moving it up a little bit so that it gives you a little more room to see what I'm doing. And yes, that is my pile of fabric scraps. I save all my fabric scraps because they can always serve as stuffing for something else. And she picked out all the colors. I think she did a great job over all the fabric pieces. She pinned this one, and I only just realized just now during the live that the fabric was sideways. Um, I don't know if there's a way to do it. No, it wouldn't. It's still sideways. So it's just going to be sideways. But hey, it's a learning experience. She's learning to sew. So again, perfection is not needed. I did the E for her. I finished one of the ends because she started on this one. And this is what it looks like. So because I can't do all of it at once, I am going to go ahead and straighten them up along my line to determine where I want to put my ribbon. Okay, and then I am going to use my fabric marker. You can either use one of these. This is iron. Well, it's a heated disappearing marker or whatever. It's so when you heat it up, it goes away. So just to get the center of this, since these are all lined up, I think I'm going to just find a place that works. I want it all at the top, so I'm going to try to line them up with this line here, which means also that I want to kind of capture the center. So for something like this, this is 3 inches. I'm going to note where I want to put, my line. It's 1 for the J, and then also still on the letter there. And this is 5, so 2.5, so 1, 2.5. But because it's a little long, I think I'm just going to give it an inch away from there. I'm going to put the next one here. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for the ends. And this is also a great thing to do if you have a friend who just had a baby and you want to do something for something special, unique, customized gifts. This is a great way to do it. You can do it for your little one. Okay, so this is about 2.5, so 1.25, and 2.5, so 1.25 right here. lines because now I've done the lines, so I know where my lines are. 2.5, so mark 1.25. Again, I'm trying to align it with this line here, and okay. So you can see these marks here. That's where I'm going to be punching my hole. And the last letter here, this is about 2 inches, so I'm just going to put it here right in the middle. Okay, so for this, if you were going to sell this professionally, you want a hole punch, like a bigger hole punch. I have a bigger one to the side that can do this, but this is going, I'm not selling this, so I'm just going to use my little hole punch here. Top there, and I have my marking right there, put it through. And that's it. So for me, I'm going to use something I already have in my office, which a pair of tweezers, but now you can see the hole. And I can just string the ribbon through it. I'm going to go ahead and do the same for all the other letters. Actually, I use this rounded one because it's a little rounded and fits just perfectly there. So that's the other thing. When you're in a situation like this, you gotta improvise. You don't necessarily have to buy something new for every single project you do. Now I do have these. Let me show you these little hole punches that I can use. Actually, let me show you what that will look like. I mean, these those are usually used to poke out the holes on the edges of your fabric. So I can do that. And this is just so the ribbon can go through, so I don't need anything fancy. Again, if you're selling it, you want this. But if you're just doing this for home sign or whatever, you don't really need to add any extra hardware. You can just put it through. Yeah, so the other thing I noticed with this tool though is as I go, sometimes it starts to get stuffed, as you can see here. So I do need to push this all out. It comes out on the other side. It's hollow. It's almost like a regular hole punch. Okay. That's the other side, so just take that off. And if you notice, so if you've been watching this from when I first started, for letters that can be confusing, because this could be a Z as well, I do mark top and bottom just so I don't mess it up. Because obviously you want to put the hole in the right place. So, and then this is the last one here. And thanks all for watching. So longer letters, you absolutely want 2 holes. Shorter, smaller letters, 1, or shorter tops, like an A, you only need 1. Okay, so all the holes are in. I'll clean that later. Take that away. Make sure my holes are in. And then I have to put in my ribbon. And we'll be good to go. So hope you found this helpful. Thanks for joining me. It's a really, really fun project to do. If you're just learning to sew again, I would say it's easy for kids if you want them to learn to sew, but for using the Pinkin shears, I absolutely recommend an adult be available because Pinkin shears does require a little more hand-eye coordination, and because of the heavy-duty nature of them, you can cause major damage if not properly handled. So this is what it looks like. She wanted a foodie type one, so cupcakes, coffee, pressed coffee, and yes, I see it. Don't worry, it's not right. As far as the orientation, lemons and donuts. Yum yum. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.